This episode addresses sensitive topics related to intimate partner violence and gender-based violence. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Listen, all if you're in there, over this to yourself. Because when you come over to my space, it causes corrobon because I don't want you over. To serve with love. If when you lay down in your bed, you are not feeling safe and comfortable, then something is wrong.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Living Millennially with StefKai, where we unlock the millennial experience one episode at a time. Woo! You've been here with me. It's another episode. But remember to subscribe to my new YouTube channel, trying to get to 1,000. I'm trying to get used to this whole YouTube thing. So that's StefKai. And of course, this podcast will be available on all the major podcasting platforms, Apple, Google, and Spotify. And we're not forgetting our Amazon folks on Audible. So we have everyone covered. So you don't have no excuse if you drive on the road. You can listen to me. But I have a very special guest with me today. All my guests are special. So they're so dear to me. And I like to say she's the sweetheart of Jamaica, but that's not like matey business. So I'm like, so she's a darling of Jamaica. She's a light, she's a bright light. And I have with me here today Nickeishia Barnes. And I'm sure that a lot of you can remember her on your millennial experience and journey. So she's gonna talk with us a little bit today, and let's see what's that about. All right, welcome Nickeishia to the show.
Thank you for having me. What up is that intro, my love?
You know, we have to keep the things professional and giving what we're supposed to give.
By the way, I'm proud of you, yes, so.
Thank you.
Yes, so.
It's been a mighty time.
Yeah, man, yes, so.
Thank you. All right, so we normally start the episode with a game. It's called This or That. So you choose whichever one is better for you.
Okay.
And you can give like a small explanation as to why. All right, then. So we're starting. Performing on a big stage, or you prefer like an intimate acoustic setting?
Oh my God, I can't choose.
Pick one.
Why?
Quick.
I can't choose. Guess why?
Going.
The big stage, there's an energy that comes. Small, intimate, you feel like you're connecting with family. So that's why I can't choose.
All right, then, fine. But if you had to choose one, which one you choose?
Small, intimate.
Sounds more like you.
Yes.
All right, then. Glamorous gowns or stylish wear?
Stylish wear. I don't like frack all the while. Yeah.
She's not a frack lady.
I'm not a frack lady.
All right, then. So beach getaway or Blue Mountain hiking?
Neither. Sun domes in Dubai.
Bali! It's giving Indonesia.
Yeah, my love.
It's giving London.
You have a dream big, you know. Yeah, limit me this up. Yeah.
All right. Point taken. All right, then. Hairstyles sleek and elegant or bold and stylish?
Bold and stylish. I'm a big baller.
Show them the back, please. Show them the back.
Take time. Right.
Take time. Big up the barber anyway in there.
Man.
All right. Which song would you demolish at a karaoke? Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You, or Tina Turner, Proud Mary?
Proud Mary, Tina Turner.
Give me a little piece.
The best part. Big bridge keep on turning. Proud Mary keep on burning. This is my part. And we rolling on the river.
Nice. Maybe we should have that singing short.
Sure don't.
All right, then. Last, movie or series?
Series.
Series.
Yeah.
You want to get into it?
Yeah, man. I get into K-drama now for the last 3 years.
K-drama?
I love my gun, but disappear.
Somebody was talking about K-drama recently. I need to maybe get into it.
Disappear, man. I tell you. Yeah.
I love that. So that was This or That game, and Nickeishia did very well. And you learn a little bit more about her. So today's episode, we're talking about resilience, joy. We're always talking about your hardships, your struggles, and what you have overcome. But many people don't know this joyful side of you, at least to the public. But they just see you as somebody who used to be on Rising Stars.
Yeah.
I was a big fan. I'll give you a short story how we met. We've actually never met.
Right.
So we just followed each other on social media. I was a big fan because I was a big fan of Rising Star. Still am. And I used to just message her a little, oh, I love that, I love this. And she was always so gracious towards me in terms of being kind. And then I remember one day I was singing at UE graduation when I used to be a part of a choir. And or eyes locked in the audience. I don't know if you remember that.
I was like, I know you.
You know
That
me.
is, I said, but me know you.
And I waved
but
to her.
you're a singer too.
Exactly. I waved to her. So that's how we connected. And then she's here today. So finding joy, women finding their voices. What's your view on that as a not older millennial, but a more mature?
Don't worry about it. Me not no problem with it. Me know people are afraid of them age. Me not have a problem in the world.
How do you feel about that?
Me leave. Good. I think for me, when I think of women finding their voices in music, it's an appreciation for those that came before me.
Yeah.
And what they had to venture through to open doors so that people like me could have the audacity to go into rooms and have a voice. So like for me, Marcia Griffiths, Rita Marley, you cannot imagine what they had to face to be able to own spaces so that they could be at the forefront of such an amazing charge that I could be bold enough to say I want to be a musician and want to be a musician in a sense that I want to own the things that I'm producing. So for me, it's that space. I'm always grateful because I know that I didn't come here on my own.
Yeah.
There's a legacy before me that I'm going to be standing on the shoulders of those incredible women that had to face so much so that when I get in that room, I can be my best self and feel safe in those spaces.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the issues we're having with like the generational gap between like Gen Z and then before our generation is that a lot of Gen Z people don't know the foundation that was laid before.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like they don't want to know.
Information
That's it, because
it's too
accessible.
time.
Yeah, man. There your fingertip where you can Google now and look on some people for a long time and go, whoa. So I think it's for me is finding the time and the space to learn your history in whatever path you want to travel on so that you know who forged ahead. So sometimes you also learn what mistakes not to make.
Right.
Because you're able to
see
history for a reason. In other words, because careless is there so that you can go, oh, those were some lessons learned. I don't want to repeat that. How can I not repeat that? What do I need to do to make myself even stronger so that I don't make that same mistake?
I mean, like even my shirt, Gifted and Black.
I love the shirt.
It's like looking at what we faced as black people and
how we're fixing that
no.
And how are we showing up in our best selves so that we don't make those mistakes our forefathers made.
Listen, I love that you touch on that though, because that's really kind of the next place we're going in the conversation in terms of passion and the regular root way of doing life, like doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, like what our parents told us.
Yeah.
But how did what's your view on managing that now as someone who is an older millennial parent? And also, like, for yourself, you started out singing on Rising Stars and all of that, but, like, you paused for quite a while.
I love long time. But
like, quite a while.
Quite a while. I got into the other spaces of earnings, and I want us to appreciate that you're not limited in how you earn. So you may not have seen me in the commercial musical space, but trust me, I run back and write some jingles and stuff for some commercial on TV, because money over that side too.
See the press for details.
There you go. And also too, to contribute in spaces like writing songs for other artists. Because there's earnings in that. So a lot of times people don't see you in the commercial space and they think that's the only space you can earn because of limelight. No, me love run a back full up of money and full up of legacy money.
You have that like producer that production thing.
Writing where you know, so down the line your generation can be earning from your work. Are still music you're in.
Yeah.
You're just not the product at the front, but you're a product in the back, earning and capitalizing on that. And you were never taught that in schools. You're never taught that the business of music is far greater than the artist at the front. The artist is 5% of what you're seeing. There's a whole world operating around that artist. Education, research. And how can you position yourself? Because I love the business of music. I never wanted to be an artist. I loved the business. My brother, in fact, who used to be around with Nesbeth, they're the ones who were artists.
Big up Nesbeth anyway in there.
Big up Nesbeth. Who wanted to be artists. I actually wanted to be a manager, a business manager in music, to develop talents that come from spaces where I come from, like Arnett Gardens, because I saw the gap where we didn't have people teaching us money management. So I would see older artists have millions of hits, but when they passed away, you had to be holding out a shed bucket for them to be buried. And for me, that was a crisis, because who is going to help them understand that they can own aspects of the business so that never happens to them. And therefore I wanted to be a business manager.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what a lot of millennials are doing now, where they're clocking a lot of things. Because even like with TLC, that group, their manager literally almost obliterated them.
Mill of bankrupt.
You know, and they became bankrupt. So it's also looking at somebody like you, a millennial yourself, saying, no, I'm coming into this space to be like, you know what? A lot of shady little things happen before, and I want to change that. It's still like musical industry, and it's still a business, but you can have the interest of the artist at hand.
There you go. And for me, that's the space I'm learning about. So I'm learning about royalties. I'm learning about songwriting and what portion of that comes with you as the one on the stage, the performer. Are you engaged with that space in the background? Because a lot of times you don't earn by being the one in the front. The persons behind are the ones who are actually earning millions of dollars from a product, because that's what you are in the front, a product. And therefore another product can come and take up that space. Anytime.
So you have to have your back and fall back.
You have to have, I wouldn't even consider it a fallback. You must become so aware of the space that you're in. So Rihanna can knock the music for 10 years. And she's now a
billions of dollars
in the same music and entertainment industry, because she learned to capitalize on the other spaces that we are not taught to capitalize on. Which Jamaican artists have a perfume? Which Jamaican artists have a shoes line? Which Jamaican artists have a hair product line? But we are the biggest products at the front, supporting and selling that for some other person who is making them richer.
Yeah.
Me not pay rent and help nobody. More help myself. So how can I become so multifaceted that I'm able to earn while I'm sleeping?
And that's one thing with millennials in terms of how we see life now, where we start out at one job. Like example for me, like I started out in media at a very young age, and then I grew tired of it, and now I'm back in it, because like looking at life in terms of you can be a doctor and also be a performer.
Listen.
You can do many things.
Listen, if you want me, Bex, just come and tell the pitting them, but them for be teacher alone. So many opportunities are missed because we are so tunnel vision to thinking. And then I have to understand too that the generations before us never got the space to have these types of conversations, to dream outside of the space of what the status
everything
quo
in
says.
a box.
Yeah, man. So status quo say the only way you can be somebody of prestige in society is to affirm doctor, lawyer,
prime minister,
teacher, nurse. Those are the positions that makes you separate, that makes you more engaging. We never taught our children that being an artist could also bring family and generational wealth, because it wasn't positioned for them. So I have to appreciate where my mom comes from.
Yeah.
She wasn't able to see the scope, and I said to her, I really believe I can sing. I really want to do this. I know I can write songs. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to go to, but I know that there's something different about me and I want to try. She couldn't appreciate. So my mother said, me go by you. I mean, I've got to go to politics because me I be the next Portia.
So wait, did you have an interest in politics at all?
I did love it. Down to my toe pint. Me did love it.
And you would be a good MP, you know, I can see you in the community right now, like, my people,
come forth.
My little people, I'm here for you. It would have fit you.
But I still do it.
Words you can sing?
But hear the drama now that I had to learn, because we have to redirect, and I appreciate that as millennials. I learned very early that your career is not the job.
So say that again?
Yeah, man, your career is not your job.
Your career is not your job.
Your job is one activity along your career line. Are you an advocate? That's your actual career. You can have several activities that allows you to advocate. Because I recognize I love advocacy. And because I love advocacy, when I'm a singer, I can also speak and my voice can be heard in those spaces of persons who are vulnerable. If I write songs, I can write songs that contribute to that legacy of what Bob Marley would have written, Concrete Jungle. I can contribute to that. That's also advocacy. I can support people by being in the background and helping to pay tuition, school fees. That's also advocacy. I can work in public health and be advocating. Because that's also an opportunity for me to say, hey, people who are vulnerable need support in their
Not a one-lane street.
It's not one lane.
Not one lane.
So I had to figure that out as I was growing and recognize that, oh, your career is the bigger, it's the purpose. And underneath are all the activities that I can do in fulfilling that purpose.
God-given purpose.
Yeah. And if you don't help our young people to understand that, then they will think if a doctor and parents channel and a doctor, but they don't realize, are you a healer? if you're a healer, you don't have to only be a doctor.
All right, so we have a new host for the show. Here you go. Thank you.
Taking it out.
Thank you. But you touched on advocacy. I'm going to ask your permission if I can talk about this. It may be a triggering topic, intimate partner violence.
I don't find it triggering anymore, thank God. It was triggering 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't worked through what that meant for me in the space of advocacy.
Yeah.
I think, and I'm telling people this now, please go to therapy if you need it.
Please go to therapy. It's important,
It's
you know.
important.
It's important.
In our culture, we think therapy and we think mental health and we think mental health issues and we think mental health
But
disease.
even as millennials,
Listen,
we
man.
sometimes have that view like of our mothers and fathers where we're like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But
and
no,
it's
a lot of people are just like, mental health is being tokenized. It's just a brand. No, it's important.
It's important. And I found an urgency in my life that I needed to sit with someone. Listen, God put the people in the space to go study and to come help you. Use them up. And it gave me such a clear sense of who I was and where I needed to be and how I need to align my relationships as I move forward.
Yeah,
and
I love that line.
Urge people to, if you need support, get it. In terms of my issue with gender-based violence and the journey I had, it was such an opening when I did therapy because I had to sit with my son. Because it wasn't
so he knew of what was happening.
Yeah, man. But
like he witnessed it.
He witnessed.
Wow.
But the situation is I couldn't speak on a journey that also involved him. So I had to sit with him
and ask if he was okay.
If he was okay for me to share. And I tell you that.
And a lot of parents now, which is also a feature of the millennial parenting where like you're taking the child's feelings into consideration.
So when we had the conversation, he literally was able to say to me, it's your story and you are allowed all the space you need to heal and tell your story.
I love that because that's something I always say to people, like even me with my father, you know, my father wasn't always there for me, and it doesn't matter if my father is now a changed man. That's my story. I'm still open and I'm still at liberty to share your story.
And I had to learn that it was my story because prior to that, I had other people around me sharing that story on my behalf. Because I was trapped in shame. It was a shameful period.
As you touch on shame, I want to talk a little bit about like just debunking that myth surrounding shame that because you eat that why you stay. I think that's a lot of the narrative in Jamaica. And just the word like if somebody beat you or somebody
you must can't left. No, listen, for 10 years I went back and forth in the relationship. Because there were some things inside of me, and I think that's why I can appreciate therapy so much. That little girl that felt alone, that little girl that felt abandoned, that little girl that felt she needed to have somebody rescue her, felt that the relationship I was in was supposed to do that for me. And anytime it didn't, that's when I felt most wounded. And I had to heal that so that I don't keep attracting what I came from again into my life. Because if I didn't pause and say, where was I in my space to have felt that was all right for me? Because if I don't address that, I will carry that with me into the next thing. And you also carry that into your friendships. And we don't even realize that people do some things to you and you allow it and accept it.
Spills over.
So it spills over into all those areas. So you have to do a whole heap of self-work. And the self-work for me meant I had to pause. So that's why you wasn't hearing me in music.
So that's why you really took a break. You had to just take away yourself.
Yeah, man. Because music also hurt me. And I didn't realize
that's a channel of expression. Exactly.
And
so it reminds you.
Yeah, man. And I wasn't ready to share.
You know what I tell people all the time? So that as like artists, like as somebody who is musical as well and a performer, that's the hard part, you know, because the thing that you love the most, it reminds you about everything.
Everything.
You're on stage and people think you're enjoying.
No, listen, a trauma. Me love me get triggered. Please, for the love. No, but give me the mic. Me I go back. I had to heal so that when I came forth again, I was at a space where I could tell you my story without having, because when I was on stage, it's like me I see the people in my life and seeing the hurt and hearing the rumors and the gossip from a journey that I hadn't healed from, that I hadn't started to do the work.
So people
with.
knew what was happening?
Yes, man. People I'm work with know what going. And the thing I learned about a situation of gender-based violence, that women can be very mean. So men would hear and get upset on my behalf, you know.
Because if it was their sister,
yeah, man, what
daughter,
would I do? Yeah, man,
yeah.
them say some things to me. I say, she fool, why she not? But women were so mean that I had to then learn that it's not women, it's girls. Girls who are broken, girls who themselves
And
have
they
been
identify,
abused.
so they shun it.
They shun it
instead
and
of
they're
facing it.
yeah, man. So they're so glad nobody's talking about them and the journey they had gone through that it's all right for them to talk about you because they don't have to do the work.
And that's a thing in life, too.
That's
As in,
a
like,
thing. Yeah,
a lot of
man.
millennials, if you look online, like, we're always just complaining about others. But I always say to some of my friends is that everything you do to somebody or everything that somebody does to you or you complain about,
What?
you do the same thing to somebody else.
Yeah, man.
And you don't realize that.
Listen, so even doing this with you, it was a challenge for me. 5-6 years ago, I never come here, so. Because I was afraid of social media. I mean, terrified.
And I appreciate it. I thank you because this is not a space to just tokenize or make something a brand. It's actually for people to watch and learn and
Listen.
see that, like, look at her, look on the boat. You can heal from stuff that you go
can.
through.
And
It takes time.
takes time and
But
it
do the
takes time
work.
away from the light. And if you're somebody that craves the light, then you will never get time to do the work because you live for the applause in the light. And the work that I needed to do did not require applause from the light. It required internal.
You have to lock
yeah, man,
off the
lock off the
lights.
light, lock off everybody. When people are calling, I'm gonna answer the phone. Yeah, invite me up, I'm gonna go because I had work to do. And the work was so important, it required silence.
So all this time you're going to work and still showing
Yeah,
up
man.
normally.
Normal. People are chat, me not look. But I was so broken inside because they were talking externally, but I was in war emotionally. And I had to figure that out because my best friend was hurting me. I grew up with this person. We were together from I was 19 years old. And I left the relationship in my 30s. And all along, yes, family tell me to leave. I had a home I could go back to, all of them fancy things. They made have money. But the day I left was the day I was the most broke. The day I left was the day that I didn't have a car to drive. Because in my love and in my journey with this person, I had bound everything I had to this person. So when I actually left, yes, me never have no money. And what, part of it, no, nobody knew. Because I learned to keep quiet about my journey. I learned to
And that's
sing.
also another issue, you know. The whole keeping silent
Listen,
thing.
people stop post everything on social media. You
The whole
name
keeping
everybody
silent
know.
thing.
Me love, you have to do some work where people don't know what's happening. And when you re-merge them, go, you look different. Yeah, man, because I am
And you
actually
feel
different.
different.
And I feel
And the funny thing is that you're talking now and people would never know what you've gone through because guess what? This is who you always were.
Yeah.
It's just that somebody took.
And I'm going to change that. Nobody took it. I gave it away.
We have the poetry people in go.
Listen, man. And that's what I had to learn in therapy because I was angry at me. I wasn't angry at the person that was hurt. I was angry that I stayed in something that was hurting me.
And I just love
Yeah.
that as millennials as well, we are now seeing the value of therapy. But just to touch on, 1 in 3 women worldwide experience gender-based violence or intimate partner, and 1 in 4
in Jamaica
experience that. So I'm happy that you shared that. But just touch a little bit on like the overcoming as a millennial woman, and then also parenting a millennial, a Gen Zer who went through that, and how you had to shape that kind of parenting, based on the trauma from intimate partner violence, gender-based violence, and showing up now for your son in a healthy way.
I think the first thing I had to do was to show up for myself. Can't show up for nobody if me not together. So we have something that we always say, me and my sister, gather, mother, gather. You have to gather for you first. The first thing them tell up on the plane I crash, I put on your oxygen mask. Not everybody else on yours.
Fix you before
Fix
you start
you before you start help people, because you can't fix nobody when you broke up.
I am guilty of that, because I'm a person that commitment is a pillar of my existence.
Yeah.
And all if me I
Drop
drown,
down.
me I
You're
help somebody
busy
else.
at
And I
help.
had to be learning that,
Them tell you the first thing, you first. And I had to become selfish with my time. So yes, more on the everywhere. Yes, people are invited. Yes, you want, couldn't do it. And I lost some friends.
Yeah.
I lost some relationships. But I'm better for it. Because who for stay, I gotta stay. and who for go. And not everybody is made for the decathlon. Some people are swimmers good. When they don't swim, them not supposed to come up on mountain top and everybody have mountain top leg. Some people have a tanning at the swimming part tight, and you have to recognize who are the ones who are going to be the part of your sustainability plan. Not everybody comes with you. Some are seasonal. Some people just come, them a branch and leave.
A friend of the show. They're just a friend of the show.
Yeah. Use a branch and
then we change out the friends of the show.
Man.
But we have all the people them.
You see roots?
We carry the peach.
You see the root them? Them root they're gonna stay no matter the storm, no matter how much the breeze a blow hard, no matter how much a keel over and the branch them drop off. Roots stay. They stay when you're a mess. They stay when things are good.
Stubborn love.
Man, if I tell you, when you find those people, hold on to them. I have some friends that, listen, at 2 years straight, they might invite me out. And I don't go know it.
That's me.
And them, they're the
Everybody
same
was
way.
my friend. Them though say, Stefan, I have a friend, you know. She said, even the other day, we finally met up. And she's like, Stefan, honestly, I can't believe it's you here. Because it's not that I don't want to go. It's just that, like, I really have a lot doing.
Listen.
And not because it's broadcast that you're not busy. We're busy.
Listen, you say today alone, the amount of things me a juggle and I manage.
And she managed to be here. So that's why I'm so appreciative of her.
No, but this was a part of it too. Because I gave you my word. And if I gave you my word to have a conversation, I'm going to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Remember, my career path is not limited to just music. This is also a part of my career path. To say to people who are walking through that journey I've walked through, that you come out on the other side. I couldn't miss this. Right
now, as you're talking, you're pouring into me. Because I went through 2023 was just
one of them years that I love.
I think it's possibly like when you go grade 6 and you're like, you have to do G's at high school.
Yeah.
That was the year for me. But even talking to you, it just reminds me that I have a purpose here. My passion, I should pursue that and never let others deter me. And a lot of people are gonna be like, another podcast with coach and whatever. Yeah,
people love to pay them the mind.
People watch it.
No mind. You're not gonna be everybody cup of tea, but the smarty way if you drink it, will drink it. You not pay them the mind. If I even 2 people, them 2, they're gonna tell 2 other people and 2 other people and 2 other people until we have 100 people. And the 100 people are gonna tell 100 other people, you'll be fine.
Let's talk about millennial parenting though. Like, you're such a light, you're such a joy. And even sitting here with you, I'm feeling that radiate from you. What is the relationship like with your son?
And by the way, I'm not like when we talk about him, yeah? I love
son, permit
quiet
us.
Giant,
permit us.
Quiet giant, I love him. I like the limelight. And sometimes I say, yeah, really, my beatnik, because you know me loud and so. But he is one of the swiftest 21 years old persons I've ever met. He's swift. He's emotionally charged. I have such an appreciation for him, because there are times when I will come home from work and I share something with him. And when he says something, I just go in my room and say, hey, that little boy, I say, man, God, what going here? So he's in tune. And he has a sense of himself, and that helps me as a mommy. And because he has a sense of himself, our conversations are very different. Because he explores things. He will watch, no laugh, he will watch anime and come back and give me a full thesis. Like him dissect the whole anime, and I sit down there going, okay, me need to watch an anime there because me never picked that up. You see all of that when you watch that episode
the
there?
The nuances and the themes.
Yeah, man, and he's able to have conversations with me that have my mind. He blows my mind in terms of how he sees life. And because of him, I have a better appreciation for young people, because I recognize that they're not little people as we would think. And because of him, I'm able to
sense.
I'm not even have sense alone.
I don't have kids, but like I'm a lover of kids, and trust me, them have sense. Sometimes when they clock you, you're like,
yeah, man. First of all, my son catch me at 9 years old. Me introduce one of my good friend them to him as uncle, and they pick me in the middle of the conversation, back up me and the uncle and say, "You are my mom's brother? No. You're my dad's brother? No. How are you, my uncle?" The man, they don't say, me sit down the pan. When I go home, I go and thump in your forehead. I go and thump in your forehead. Who does this right here at this time? And then him go, so I'm going to call you Mr. I said, God of mercy, you couldn't wait to
that was me at a younger age. My mom was dating someone, and he came in and he commented on my hairstyle. That time I was wearing a mohawk.
Yes.
And he was like, you think it is wise to wear a mohawk? And I remember saying to him at the time, my mother doesn't have an issue, so why do you?
Yeah, so,
and I saw my mother in the background like I mean,
yeah, man. So from my son and 9, no more uncle or auntie. Them is not my sister, them is not my brother. Mr. and Miss. And I learned at that age that his voice is necessary. And because when I was growing up, my voice didn't feel as necessary because if your mother cooked that you're going to eat. No, I was having conversations with
which is really the millennial experience.
Yeah, man, with this 9-year-old saying, when we go supermarket, what would you like to have? Would go and pick out your stuff.
You think we can put it on? Mommy,
First
you
of
think I
all,
can put it on?
First of all, me not even go. Because she not carry you. She going to buy them and carry them come. And you better nyam with dede. Otherwise, you're going to go hungry. Know the conversation with my son, and he has helped my mother to also shift in that way.
So we're even looking at your his grandmother,
yeah,
like he's shaping.
Yeah, man. Because my son gonna say, that's what you're cooking, I don't want that.
Me not name that.
No, man, I'll let him eat it. I didn't want that today. You didn't ask my permission. Like he's having, and him fully
And nothing is wrong. And people now would see that as being facetious or tasty.
So them,
no, but
he's
I
so
just
rude.
did not want that.
I didn't want that. And if him put something in the fridge, don't ask permission, the whole house catch a fire. You didn't ask my permission. And when my son turned 10, him tell me, say, I need privacy. That did catch me by surprise.
What was that like
first,
for you?
First of all, him say privacy. I'm say, who teach you that word? Because I saw the word pronounced. Yeah, man. So which English person you that? That for me was very refreshing.
Yeah.
Because I knew I wanted that for myself when I was growing up. And so I created a space for my son and I to have a conversation. So even in punishment, I was never hard pressed to beat. We had conversations. We had contracts. And you agreed.
If you break the contract, you pay the consequence.
Yeah, man. So you love money and the money are your thing and you like your lunch money a certain way. You do something at school, them call me. So let's have a conversation of how this going to work out. And him come up with the arrangements of his punishment and we either agree or disagree and we find
it's just the fact that like you're brokering with your child and showing that not every time beating.
First of all, me not beat nobody. With these cute things, me not fight nobody.
Because gentle parenting is a thing, you know.
No.
Because you can achieve a lot from it.
People don't understand that I learned that appreciation because I have a scar on my body from a beating. And for many years, I was angry with my mother for that. Because I got that punishment or that disciplinary action because another adult told her something that was not a truth and she never asked me. I just got punished because it was an adult who told her.
Because adults are telling the truth.
And that was that's the first time in my life that I realized that big people tell Wally a lie. I was 11 years old and I sat there going, didn't you really come if you tell my mother a lie? And the response for me was, and my mother didn't even ask me. That means you don't
it's
even
like,
know
what
who
is your side of the story?
Yeah,
what happened?
What happened? Share with me. So from that incident, and every time I looked at my scar, I said, I'd never do that to another person. I want to create space where conversations are had, where you ask and your voice is included. So you can't tell me nothing about my pitney. Come I go ask him. So the teacher them call
and then also when you ask me, you can also tell when liar tell too.
Yeah, because you know him.
Because you know him.
Me love, one teacher tell me something, I'm calling on the phone, and I say, yeah man, that sound just about right. That sound like you and him bust out a laugh and say, yeah. I'm say, yeah man, so we're going to work through this, because I don't know so something have to go on. And him say, yeah, all right, so I know so and so, me give him, I'm going to get taken for the next 3 weeks.
So already he's aware.
Yeah man, him start aware, I'm start put things in place, I'm going to say, all right, me done. So we'll come in, we'll just wrap up this nice and clean. All right, me G? All right, later we talk. Boom, conversation done. When I go home the game, pack up and it's in my room.
I love that because I feel like even now as millennials, our style of parenting is changing. I don't have a child, but you don't have to have a child to be a parent.
No, you don't.
But there are a lot of kids and children that I've poured into and impacted and stuff. You know, I just love the fact that you are able to sit and talk with him. And even now, I had my mom on the podcast, and it's now when she's older that we kind of can have certain conversations. Yep. But look at you now, like a younger parent, and you're able to sit and talk with your child.
Listen, the fact that I didn't feel included meant that I had to create space so he could be included.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with my nieces and my nephews, to create space for them to hear themselves in conversations. Because you're not always there.
Yeah.
What are you supporting? You're supporting a leader or a follower. If all them do is follow all the days of them life, then when they meet other people who are stronger, who have had crafted with resilience, and they were allowed to be included in conversations, then that's why they're not going to lead them where they want to lead them. they too must have opportunities to hear themselves and to see their ideas mushroom.
Yeah.
Christmas I come, first thing I ask, what do you want when you am for the Christmas?
Kind of every year them everyone the same thing.
Everybody chip in and I say, all right, we can do a little bit of you, a little bit of you, a little bit of you. So when the dinner done, everybody sit themselves on the table. Because that's how you include voices in conversations, and that's how people grow into their best self.
But that's a part of the whole thing too that we're talking about in terms of just you as a person. I love that you talk about your child like that. I can hear the love. But like even you know, people I think over the years they just say you're downcast and out. Like we not see her, she dip on Rising Star, she comes second, whatever. But now you're resurfacing. And not just resurfacing as just that, you're coming back in many different ways. And I feel that's the millennial experience where we're not one-dimensional. I watched you perform recently at an event and I'm like, there's heart in what you do. Like, you brought the room on their feet and like there was an emotional journey. But let's talk about now how you just maintain joy. Like, despite all of that, because I feel now a lot of young people, we're so suppressing emotions because you don't want to be seen as too girly if you're a man. Or if you're a girl, you don't want seen as
too
this.
rough,
How you manage?
For me, it's taking that time away. We all need that. What do you do in your space that helps you to figure out you away from your friend named Vice, away from your parents' Vice, where it's just you? What are you telling yourself?
Yeah.
What are the things that when you get up in that, first of all, my head ball because I meet my face.
Yeah.
Me in an argument to nobody, I want hot, fiery girl this. Because I had to say that to me. Me don't need you to say it, me don't need nobody else to say it. I'm telling me that every day. And if I'm telling me that every day when I encounter you, you have something negative to say, I'm not even appear you, no man come and don't tell me something art.
Because you can focus on the positive instead of the negative. Just as much as you focus on the negative, you can focus on the positive.
And I learned this over the last 2 years. I'm going to be intentional about my joy. And if my joy means that I'm not around you, then I won't be around you.
And that's me now, just turning 30. Like a lot of things and people that I used to, it's just not giving anymore.
Nobody when I pour back in a mic up. And people think when you talk that way, they think financial and they think material things. No. If when I'm around you, I feel drained and I feel tired, I'm not going to be around you.
Especially if you've had a conversation with somebody and you're like, hey, I don't like when you do this. And the person will say, hey, I don't like when you do this. And you're working on yourself.
And yes, you say to
still not
do it. Not go around you. And that's also fine. And it doesn't mean that something is wrong with you, the person. It just means that I'm curating a space for me that allows me to be happy.
And also it just means that they're just not in that space of life.
Listen, all if you're in there over there to yourself, because when you come over in my space, it cause corrobon because I don't want you over here.
Same
argument
thing.
Done.
Period.
Argument done. Me too up in a life now, to cater to you and your whimsical dreams and desires and foolishness over there, so me don't want it over here. Because when you come over here, it causes confusion. And me don't want a confusion in my space. I'm there now. No, I'm literally there where I'm being intentional about my peace. I'm being intentional about my happiness. And if when I'm around you and I engage with you, I'm not receptive and not feeling that, but I find myself pouring it out to you, I'm done. And it's not that you don't get second chances. No. If I'm curating this space and you can't appreciate that I'm curating this space
for you,
that means
my mother always tell me, don't set yourself on fire for people who will stand up and watch you and wouldn't even throw water
upon you. So if that's where you are, you have to recognize that people are going to say you're selfish, people are going to say all sorts of stuff, but who are you when they're not there? Are you happy? Who are you when you don't have a bag of people for call? Who are you? If you find yourself that you have to go out every Friday, you have to be with it, that means you haven't found yourself.
If you have to be everywhere at every time.
That means you haven't found
sometimes you have to be by yourself.
Be by yourself, man. Rest your body, rest your brain, rest yourself, man.
Rest everything.
If when you lay down in your bed, you are not feeling safe and comfortable, then something is wrong. If you can't find yourself alone, first of all, people think I love to drive by myself.
Therapeutic.
Me chat to myself, me play music. I love my company. And prior to that, I didn't. Prior to that, I needed to be where everybody was because so much was happening and I couldn't disengage and lock it off. And I was fearful of processing because processing meant I had to step away. Processing meant I had to do some self-work. Processing meant that I had to tell myself some ugly truths that when I'm around you, I really don't like it. that when I'm with you, me just did it.
And then also we don't talk about the part of the pre-having the conversation is a whole thing, you know, because like you're already like, me know, so them not go hear not what me saying about me, I go try, and then you try, and then them say, okay.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you see?
Yes. So that's where I'm at now. Is curating space, being selfish about Nickeishia Barnes, being selfish about my joy, and recognizing that my joy doesn't rest in my son, doesn't rest in my family, it rests in me. So without them,
you're
I should
still
be
joyous.
Happy. Yeah, man. So because I have friends who say to me, lad, what you gonna do when your son gone? What do you mean? I'm happy now. So even if he leaves, I should still be happy. So even if him go and find him own a space and own a life, that's what a parent needs. For you to go out and be better than me.
Grow you for doing so if you're not ever go out, oh, we're going to know, say the parenting work.
Yeah, man, go on, man, go live. Go and go figure out yourself. And they don't recognize that that's a part of my role. It's not my life. Being his mom is a role that I've appreciated. But Nickeishia is a full being.
Yeah.
That has whole heap of other stuff that caters to her joy. And one part is her family and her son. Yeah, man.
You have a lot of other likes, a lot of other joy.
Listen, 3 hours yesterday, I watched K-drama. Not a soul on me. I'm a laugh, I'm a ball, I'm a kick over, I'm a cuss one girl. First of all, I don't even know the language, you know. But me had a proper good time.
Cushy too?
No, I don't like cushy.
You know cushy?
Just the K-drama.
Everything is so dramatic, you know. If them are drop,
no,
me
like, can't. Yeah, me like when the weapons them and the Chinese set up and me go to high school with them and love it. Love when them flick back in time but I learned that I enjoy that for me.
So that's what you like.
Because that's what I like. So people, that you watch again, yeah, me love. You're staying or you're going and staying on the big screen.
Because when they're ready to do what they like, you know, them are go through full speed.
Hey. Yeah, man, angle your candle. Come go over here, so on the big screen, angle my candle. I don't want no interruption. I pop my popcorn. I'm going to lay down yourself for hours and night. So make up your mind what you plan to do. But that's for me, understanding that you must create space for you. It's not selfish, and you don't have to be in everything. It's nice to go out and pop out and go enjoy yourself and go outside. But when you're alone, who are you? When you're by yourself, who are you? Are you the clean person you think you are? Are you going to clean up to your friend and come over?
I come my mother shame me and on the podcast and say me untidy.
No, man. So even that I had to learn. Growing up in my house, my mother's a clean. She clean all out to the front of my yard. My love, she not even wants to see chicks bag. But I had to come out of her house and go figure out.
How you do it?
How do I do it? I have days when I don't care. They close them there everywhere.
That's me.
Close them there everywhere. Then me have another season when me just everything clean like a whistle. I'm ignorant for everybody. We come with them dirty foot and stuff. Yes.
We both said the same thing at the same time.
But then who are you? You have to figure it out. Am I a stupid person on a Wednesday? No, my love. No matter with it. Boil a cup of soup and then fry some dumpling.
And if you want a cup noodle.
If you want a cup noodle, I say, listen, my son. No, my son, I learned, hey, he can't cook now, you know. So now I can call ahead and say, so what we are eat? Oh, you have to cook chicken? Thank you. I soon come for dinner. Or I'm going to go home and say, Lord, me not eat a South Korean noodle, you know. I not lie here to that go on, yeah. And him say, And
I'm going to say, she again.
Yeah, I'm in the room and him look over and say, you're not going to cook. And I say, I think you're going to cook. What will I do? I say, well, me that eat little noodle. I don't know what you feel like. But that's the space you have to curate for you. You have to be intentional about your joy.
True.
And if you're not, then you find that you are catering to other people's joys and you'll start contorting and compromising your joy.
Trust me, I went through a life-changing experience last year. Well, yeah, last year. And it's just that same thing you're saying, like you contort, you fix your shape. And no matter what, people, they appreciate it, you know. But at the same time, they're going to, at the end of the day, you know what they're going to ask you? I didn't ask you to do that.
There you go.
I just didn't.
Love, 2 years ago, somebody said that to me. I never asked for your friendship. I'm going to say it was a swift kick to the stomach. I'm going to say, but you know, not let a girl tell. She didn't ask. Here I am pouring out. I ascribe something to you that you never asked me for. So it's when my expectations and fail, I can't blame you. I have to now take accountability because you never asked.
And it hurts, you know, because sometimes those persons are the ones that you will literally give your kidney for.
Yeah, man. Hey,
in the swift of an eye.
Swift on an eye. Man, me done. Because, and when it was said, and then another situation happened where somebody go, why are you helping me? I never asked for your help. kill me dead, you know, me I go and good with myself, come I say, yeah, me I go, help you. Help is it. And it's like, I'm going to go, you know what I lie you tell? You didn't ask. And I apologize. I say, I apologize to you because I came in with a rescue
Savior complex, something that I have had to learn to fix as well.
Ask, and guess what? You have to journey through what you have to journey through, and I have to, as much as I want to come in.
Me will just watch.
Me have to go watch you, and whether or not you crash and burn and get up, whatever. And my bishop would have said this to me. He said, the best you can do is stay afar and pray. That's all the help they need. Yeah, man, so I'm sitting right by my wall, stay afar and pray.
Hope and pray,
yeah, man. And when me look, I go, that's what I do? Glory. And send you some glory and go about my business.
I love that.
Because
just send everything. Yeah. I'll send you some glory.
I'll send you some glory. Yeah, man, and keep it moving. Because if you pause, and I had to learn this, if you pause to try and save somebody that didn't ask you, you miss the opportunities where your blessings are there waiting for you. Because you pause to try and fix something that you were never asked to fix in the first place.
Trust me. As much as though you see me I host the show, me say, you're talking up. You're talking your mouth. But let's move on to, you know, we're almost wrapping up the episode, but let's move on to just the part about now that you're back on the scene and, you know, your passion is there. I like to say you're kind of like a new age. New age like Jem Myers, Karen Smith, Marcia Griffiths, and so in a modern way. Because when I watch you perform...
I know I'm afraid of them something there.
Pressure.
Yeah, man, a big Marcia... Jem Myers, Karen... No, me not take on you on that.
Of blessed memory.
Yeah, those are some... A part that when me look upon it, me go, wow, those women are amazing. And me not go around you. They're amazing because I watched them while I was growing up.
That's the thing. And us now, that's the thing. We still give credence and homage to the people who went before us as millennials because we still take a little bit of them.
Yeah, man.
Fix it up for ourselves and fashion our lives.
Yeah.
We're in the millennial meds moment, the millennial mindset moment, where I want you to just look into the camera and give just a 20-second encouragement to millennials out there, but this can be for anybody, can be applied for anybody. What would you say to people out there now struggling to find joy, just being happy because of circumstances they've gone through?
Ooh, I can say to you that joy comes. And just like how my brother tell me that it sounds cliche, take it one day at a time. Every day will come and it will pass and it will come to pass. So whatever you're going through, that's not the end of your life. That's not the end of the journey. It's a part of your testimony. And if you can see it in that way, then when you come on the other side, you'll be able to sing off that glory to somebody else who's walking that path. I had to learn that, and I want you to learn that nothing you are going through is wasted because you're an overcomer. We're a generation that overcomes.
We just have to keep a little moment of silence for that. I love that. I love that. As we're about to wrap up the episode, I love that we touched on a lot of stuff. We started at womanhood, started at finding a voice as a woman, stepping out of, bad relationships, abusive relationship, parenting a child as a millennial woman and a younger child who is a Gen Z. But I have here some key things I want people to take away from this episode that gather your crew. You need a crew.
Listen, man, you need roots.
You need a crew.
Some stubborn lovers, some people where all of them say this time I come at a fling your ground, them depend. Me have you. You need a one friend the way they call and them say, what you want me do? Them not even ask you. Me have a friend that call her, she say, how much me for saying? I have to say, no, I don't call me, I call you for that. Me have to back her up in the cash ready. And I was like, oh God, thank you, because I didn't find. Stop walk and try find friend.
Yep.
Me love make God send the people them. Make the people them. Make God come. Your tribe will find you.
They will definitely come.
They will find you.
Don't hate, appreciate.
Yeah, man. Celebrate. Because if God do it for them, Him do it for you. Me learn that. If Him bless them, your blessing will come.
And not because you don't understand what somebody else is doing means that it's foolishness. That's your thing.
That's just leave the people them alone. Yeah, man.
That would give more joy to
me love
say people business.
You say if you focus on your little farmland.
You see how quick you reach.
Oh, glory, man.
Actually, I'm Fraser. I watch nobody.
Stop people over the other people. You know what I learned? Comparison is the bane of our existence. Stop watching people.
Because just like me with this podcast, before I started, I was like, boy, yeah, some trailblazers out there.
Lord God, I'm
already throw curse you like ready to the...
Already you sabotage yourself. Already you're sending out into the atmosphere that it won't work.
Negativity.
Yeah, man. So figure out the purpose. Why do you want that podcast? What is it going to achieve? And just go for it.
And lastly, invest in yourself.
You can't afraid. You can't afraid. Me produce 2 albums. All for me lonesome, spend my government money when I earn, pay my musician, pay my backup singer, them write my song, them do it. People look at, Lord, but it not in, you don't worry about it. It may not work now for me. Bob Marley children's are receiving his benefits. Bob never lived to see it, but now they're reaping the success from all his hard work. My great-great-grandchildren are going to say, Lord, they said that granny that she'd go on with herself.
She go on,
I'm not lie, you should go on with herself. The chance of them never reach when the first person start. KFC never reach when him did it. I'm children them afterwards. What's the foundation that you're planning to set? And probably you don't get to see that joy, but some people are coming after you. Nehemiah, Jeremiah, build that wall. Build that wall.
Before we close out the episode, I want you to just sing a little line of the song that made you so famous on Rising Stars, To Serve with Love.
Between us, come.
All right.
Those schoolgirl days of telling tales and biting nails are gone.
Remember that?
But in my mind, I know they will still live on and on.
No, chorus.
But how do you thank someone who has taken you from crayons to perfume? I love that harmony today. It ain't easy, but I'll try. If you wanted the moon, I would ride across the sky in letters that would soar 1,000 feet high to serve with love. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. I just want to say to you, I'm proud of you. I literally, from a child, I've watched you. From Rising Star days, I was a fierce supporter of you. And I just want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for also pouring into me. Because even when we're dropping on each other, nuggets is just stuff to sustain and carry on.
Thank you.
But continue doing what you're doing. I love you. And I love what you're doing for others out there. And no matter what, your journey is a testimony. And people may not say it every day, but people are watching you. Just like how I was watching you. And it manifested now that you're sitting right here.
Yes.
On your own show.
Thank you for having me. And I want to say to you, I am proud of you. And don't let nobody take your joy from you. And if this is something that has been poured on you to do, do it to the best of your ability. And do it well. Do it bold. Do it fearlessly. And be audacious enough to say it's going to be a success. And you may not get the success now, but if you keep chipping at it, I promise you'll find your diamond.
Ooh. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Living Millennially with StefKai. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's StefKai. And of course, the podcast is available on all the major podcasting platforms, Google, Spotify, Apple, and Audible. But next week, we're bringing another guest, another heartful conversation where we unlock the millennial experience one episode at a time. But guess what? We have to go. But make sure you follow me on social media as well. That's at StefKai8. And you can follow the podcast page, which is at Live Millennially. Until next time, guys, it's your boy, StefKai, signing out. Until next time. Bye. Say bye.
Bye,
Bye. Thank you, guys. All right, that's a wrap.
Oh, no, may I take that look as it?